Good morning, good afternoon, and good evening. Welcome to my channel, The Value Creation Playbook. My name is Raja Mukherjee. Today, we talk of an issue that keeps popping up for middle to large acquisitions that people come across, especially in the world of private equity and enterprise acquisitions. There is a specific type of nightmare that keeps the CEOs and the managing partners and the directors awake at 3 a.m. in the morning. It doesn't happen during the due diligence or the deal negotiations. It happens about 6 months after the wire transfer clears. Today, in this episode, I want to touch upon a real life scenario of an acquisition that went absolutely southwards after some time. This deal was textbook perfection. The target company was a middle market platform which producing a reported 6.2 million in EBITDA. That's a rock solid 15.5 margin. The quality of earnings report audited by a top 4 firm was clean. The thesis was simple. Buy the asset, carve it out from the parent company, optimize back office operations, and scale. The board signed off. The deal closed. Everybody popped champagne. And fast forward 6 months, I get a call from the CEO. The tone wasn't celebratory. It was pure boardroom panic. The board has just reviewed the updated quarterly financials. Despite the P&L showing that the company was continuing to generate its projected EBITDA, the actual account, the bank account, was down negative $800,000 in operating cash flow. That's scary. Think about that for a second. The accounting statements, they were making over $6 million. The bank account said they were short nearly $1 million. They were 60 days away from needing a capital call just to make payroll. How does a business with a 15% EBITDA run out of cash in 180 days? The answer lies in a massive systemic flaw in how modern acquisitions are getting evaluated and managed. It's what I call the EBITDA illusion. Let's break this up. Let's try and understand the anatomy of this discrepancy. Look at the numbers on the screen now. For a $7 million discrepancy between paper profit and bankable cash, why does it happen? Because most executives teams treat GAAP EBITDA as a cash flow. It isn't. GAAP accounting was built for tax compliance and historical financial accounting. It was designed to tell you what happened yesterday under standardized accounting rules. It was never designed to measure operational cash velocity in a dynamic post-carve environment. And we keep forgetting that. When you acquire a business, especially a carve-out, 3 invisible cash drains immediately begin eroding your liquidity, while leaving your EBITDA looking completely fine on paper. Let's break this down. Let's break down the 3 silent killers that cripple this $40 million enterprise. First, transaction service agreements, the TSA traps. When you carve out a business out from a parent entity, you sign TSAs for IT, HR, and accounting. Deal teams often model these as fixed temporary operating expenses. But in reality, TSA costs are frequently based on legacy corporate allocation that don't match the standalone operational reality. In this company's case, TSA fees jumped 45% due to unforeseen integration complexity, eating up cash before product was even delivered. The order to cash blowout. Under GAAP, when you deliver a service or ship a product, you recognize revenue. your EBITDA goes up, but GAAP doesn't care whether the customer actually pays you. During the carve out, the company lost key billing staff and tried to migrate to a new ERP simultaneously. DSO went from 30 to 90 days. Revenue was on the books, EBITDA was recorded, but money was trapped in receivables for full 3 months. Third, blanket costs cut the crippled velocity. To hit post-close synergy targets, management executed blanket 10% headcount cuts across functional departments. On the P&L, reduced payroll make EBITDA look even much better. But for operations, skyrocketing billing and other issues continued to create customer havoc. They didn't have an earning problem. They had a cash velocity problem. This brings me to the crux of what you can do rather than just worry and stay awake at 3 a.m. as I was telling you earlier. To fix this business, we had to completely banish the gap approach for EBITDA, which is nothing wrong, but doesn't really work when you're talking of this particular scenario. We introduced a single unifying framework designed specifically for post-acquisition execution, net cash velocity. Net cash velocity measures the speed at which enterprise operations convert invested capital back into actual bankable cash. The mathematical principle is straightforward. When you look at a business through the lens of NCV, your entire execution cadence changes. Instead of asking your department heads, how do we lower expenses to improve EBITDA this month? You start asking, where is cash trapped in our operational pipeline and how do we unlock that? Let's look at the difference between GAAP matrix and NCV matrix. NCV is nothing but the net cash velocity. Under GAAP, accounts receivable is an asset on your balance sheet. Under NCV, unpaid receivables are an operational failure that bleeds interest and restricts growth. Under GAAP, inventory sitting in a warehouse is capitalized asset value. Under NCV, excess inventory is dead money holding your cash flow hostage. Under GAAP, cutting customer support staff looks like instant margin expansion. Under NCV, it's recognized as a risk that delays billing cycles and unfortunately increases customer churn. If you want to build an empire or even an enterprise to start off with, that actually generates bankable yield, you must shift your leadership team from managing P&L line items to optimizing your cash conversion cycle. It's that simple. But believe me, it's really, really tough in some situations. Now, what I've done is I've tried to put together a playbook for you, a ready recona that you can start using right from the next Monday after you see this particular point of view. So how do you essentially turn this 40 million deal around and convert that negative 800K cash drain into real bankable liquidity? We executed a 3-part operational playbook. 1, inoculate order to cash. We stopped treating billing as an administrative back office task and started treating it as a core operational capability. We restructured the order to cash workflow, automated invoice verification, and incentivized the sales teams on collected cash rather than signed contract. Within 90 days, the billing dispute resolution times dropped from 4 weeks to 48 hours. That's amazing. Eliminate TSA dependency or the TSA traps. We ran an aggressive 60-day migration to decouple the company from the parent entity's bloated TSA agreement. By replacing legacy enterprise softwares with lean, specialized systems built for mid-market scale, we permanently lowered the operating overhead while accelerating internal reporting speed. Lastly, reallocate capital to constraints, essentially protecting the delivery capacity. Instead of blanket cost cuts, we targeted investments directly at operational bottlenecks. We hired specialized billing resolution staff and streamlined fulfillment workflows. Spending money in the right operational areas accelerated our cash cycle so dramatically that the extra revenue collected far outweighed the cost of the staff. And it took us so much time to realize that. So at the end of the day, the results have spoken for itself. Our billing cycle dropped from an abysmal 90 days to 18 days. The reported EBITDA margin didn't just stay on paper, it materialized in the bank at a real bankable 18%. More importantly, the business achieved a 4x acceleration in overall cash velocity, generating the cash reserves necessary to fund organic growth without requiring a single dollar of additional equity injection from the board. So now I've told you the issue, I've told you a playbook that you can start implementing. So if you are a CEO, a managing director, or anybody who is getting impacted by such a situation, or an operations leader managing an acquisitions or a platform integration right now, you cannot afford to wait for your quarterly financial review to discover a cash velocity mismatch. When you walk into your executive team meeting on Monday morning, I want you to run your team through these three diagnostic questions, just three. One, is your quality of earnings report reflecting true operational working capital, or is it masking liquidity delays through GAAP accrual accounting? Question number two, what is our exact real-time cash conversion cycle across every operating division right now? And where is cash currently sitting stuck for more than 30 days? It might need some soul searching and some sort of an analysis, but it better do that rather than wait for another more cycle to just land that on a very difficult note. And lastly, are our current cost-cutting initiatives improving our long-term liquidity, or are they creating operational friction that slows down our billing and collection cycle? Accounting conventions will tell you what happened yesterday. Cash velocity tells you whether your enterprise will survive tomorrow. So at Rodimi, we specialize in helping private equity-backed platforms and mid-market enterprises diagnose operational bottlenecks, eliminate the EBITDA illusion, and build high-velocity cash engines. If you would want to audit your platform's net cash velocity or structure your post-acquisition integration for maximum liquidity, have a look at the website rodemiconsulting.com, and I've attached the QR code. Just go ahead and schedule some time with me and my team. Happy to discuss all your challenges. Thanks for watching. Make sure to hit subscribe, share this video with your deal team, and I'll see you in the next executive briefing. Thanks for watching.